The Don. He's got clout. He's got clout. He's got
Good evening. This is the Evening Word Show. This is the first time that I am going live on Twitch at a time other than 7 a.m. in the morning. My name is Joseph Jablonski. I do typewriter poetry in Winchester, Virginia, but I also do typewriter poetry right here on Twitch. I have a typewriter camera, which can enable people to see what I am typing as I am typing it. I also play the music of the one and only Akira the Don. I have been, I just realized that on my Instagram, it would link to a different Twitch account whenever I would be broadcasting on my link tree in my bio. How embarrassing. I've only done 60 streams, of my morning word show. But these shows are going to only be occasional. Additionally, these first two shows on Tuesday and Thursday are going to be request shows. You name the poem, you name what you'd like to have me write about, and I write about it on the spot live. And I do it at a time which is a little more appropriate for people. The hope is I'll be able to get enough followers to be able to reach affiliate status, and then we can kind of have a regularly occurring thing here. Tuesday evenings are kind of a boring evening during the week. Not much going on. Thursday evenings, sometimes people kind of get together and hang out, but still, we're in COVID. And so this can be a gathering place for anybody that at 7 p.m. EST is just looking for some poetry in their life. We'll be able to read poetry here. We'll also be able to share other people's poetry. If you have poetry you want me to share, talk about on the stream, this is the perfect place to be able to do it. So I'm going to kind of sit here and wait for any requests to come in. Otherwise, I might end up writing a poem myself about kind of the feeling of this first stream. We may even wrap up a little early. Usually these streams will be about a half an hour, but tonight it's going to be until 8 o'clock. I got a little caught up trying to figure out how OBS works. And OBS is a bit of a beast. But this is really cool to be able to stream at this time and to potentially have people watching. That is going to be the name of the game with things. So I'll just kind of hang out, maybe start writing a little bit of poetry. It is also a chat stream, so if you want to pop in and talk about anything, this is the place to talk about it. And eventually that type of talk can be the type of talk that filters into a poetic expression right on the typewriter. And that's what we do here. And that's how we do it. The idea is to bring poetry to unique spaces. So I think my poem tonight, my first poem, is going to be a poem about where poetry doesn't belong. kind of a maybe tongue-in-cheek take on the just the nature of poetry and why it seems to fit so well in certain places, not well in others, but really can be anywhere. And just writing about that and having a good time. Whenever I'm writing, I do bring up the music of Akira the Dawn in the background. So things just seem to kind of be, moving in the back, and it doesn't feel like you're just hearing the sound of the typewriter, but also the sound of the typewriter happens as well. And you can see here I do have an actual typewriter. This is a Royal O 1934 in complete working condition. If I don't jam up the keys, of course. I'm trying to get the angle right here. That's better. Seems that we're having a little trouble seeing our poetry from the glare of the lamp. Ah, that looks a lot better. Harder to see me. I'm not as bright, but you can see me. It's pretty clear. I can actually angle another light in the room to make it a little easier to see me, but now the poetry is crystal clear. That's the key. And then also, if I ever switch back, I can very easily, he said, trying to find his way. I can very easily turn back on that light. And then if I switch screens, easily turning off that light. And in fact, I would be able to turn on and turn off that light using my phone. So if I turn it on, and then I could keep this close by, a Philip Hue app. Study. There we go. Or I could even just merely dim it. Perfect. Today, I considered possibly going on a podcast from my local library. However, that podcast seems to be very library centric. I don't know if they'll be willing to take me, but I think I'm going to try it anyway. A fun poem to start the evening, this short stream, which we will be having. So then, if I go back to my desk lamp, I can brighten it very gently, and then come back to this camera over here as I read about where poetry doesn't belong. The places where verses fear to tread, serious haunts, making words tremble with fright. Only the morose, muted members decide to venture, or the crass, the crude ways of the world, spilling out without the care of metaphor. I take this fearful assembly of syllables into the frontier. I will write the video game vibracity with many synonyms of tenacity. I love that word, tenacity. I use it too much. I will spit rhymes among the shoe shines and time the appearance into adherence of the fan. I will be where poetry doesn't belong, tempting the fates of destiny to come out and play. Well, I had fun with that one. And you might be watching this on some sort of replay on YouTube. This is a very lo-fi setup. I like, the sunset's looking beautiful now. I can see the sunset from my window. I just like the idea of trying this and putting it in new places. And this might just be a short little stream, something to throw myself on the map. I got here late. There really isn't anybody really tuning in on the chat. I might have missed a crowd that I got to come with through the Instagram, but we will be able to try again in the future, which is the most exciting thing. And so, yeah, that is indeed just kind of where things have started today. I will keep the stream running for a little while longer as I sort out my papers just a little bit. And at 8 o'clock, we'll hug out and bug out, I guess. I have been working diligently on reaching out to different places that might be interested in having a poet entertain. This is exciting. It's an exciting way to be right now, to be able to have that poetry out there, that people want some poetry out there. And so it's just good. And I'm content with that. And contentment is all that we can ask for. Contentment is just being and appreciating and finding fulfillment in life. I recently was watching a bit of a video discussing the difference between happiness and fulfillment. And this is about fulfillment. Poetry is about fulfillment. I mean, frankly, I am trying to do a thing with this poetry. It's exciting, but it's not meant to be there to support people. Poetry never paid any bills, really. So entertainment pays the bills, if I'm actually thinking about it correctly, is I do what I do and I love it, and I give people value with the poetry, but it's the entertaining portion that really gets me out there and makes a buck. And entertainment is important and is good, especially during a dark time as we are now. But poetry, the substance of it, it's not entertaining. It's challenging. It's moving. Unsettling and settling at the same time. Well, this was fun to be able to kind of discuss all this and just kind of be here. So thank you. And next time, more poetry. Signing off now for the first evening stream. It's important to just get it out there and get it going. And next time it'll be closer to 7 and times will be on and all the things will line up perfectly. That's the goal over time. To slowly build out, to make better. I've been thinking about changing my typewriter out, the one that I use for the streams, just to kind of make things a little more interesting. I have a couple of very interesting typewriters that I think would work very well. But we will see. Thank you very much for tuning in. And the replay, after the fact, before the fact, however, signing off.